This February 25th regular meeting of the Burlington Board of Health to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody, those here and those online. I'm Dr. Ed Weiner, and with me this evening is my vice chair, Gail Demore, Mary Beth Welch, and Dr. Mara El-Sabahi, and Andrew Sheen could not be with us this evening. Tonight we have our Associate Director of Public Health, Michael Green, is here, with our Environmental Engineer, Christine Mathis, and our Director of Public Health, Susan Luminella, is online this evening, so we can see her. I hope she can see us, but we can see her. I want to thank the Burlington Buzz, our Burlington Daily Newsletter, for covering this meeting. And as always, please note that we are live on and will be taped by BCAT and available for appropriate comments and questions through this video technology. And as always, thank you for BCAT for what you do for this community, keeping us all aware and so well informed. So our first order of business is we have approval of minutes. However, I'm going to ask for a motion that we hold those minutes because Ms. Sheehan is not here this evening, and there were a couple of individuals who could not attend that meeting, and I want to make sure that we have enough members to vote. So we can all vote on this motion. Could I have a quick motion to hold the minutes for February 11th?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mary Beth Welch, seconded by? Second by Vice Chair Gail Demore. All in favor?
Aye.
That's 4-0-0. The next order of business, citizens' time. I think that the individuals here this evening, they are on the agenda. Is there anybody, Mr. Green, online who would like to ask a question? Sometimes there are.
No one unless Susan wants to ask a question.
I don't think so. Susie, you don't want to ask a question. She'll be answering some questions this evening. Which brings me to the chairman's report. Last week, our town administrator, Paul Sagarino, announced that he will be leaving Burlington for a different type of position in another municipality. Paul has served this community for almost 2 decades. First as our town accountant, and for the past 6 years, leading Burlington as administrator. Paul has been one of the best, and I have said this publicly many times, the best professionals that Burlington has had in recent history. Dedicated, well-spoken, and professional, he was responsible for so much success within this community. Working with this board, the Board of Health, he was key as together we navigated the pandemic, supported our public health grants, initiatives, and programs, and worked with community leadership, and especially this board, in developing Burlington into a center of biotechnology and science. We are grateful to have Paul as part of our town. I will miss his guidance. I will miss our regular debates, and most of all, his friendship, and thank him for all he did and all he has done for Burlington. Thank you. And I will send him a copy of this. There are no subcommittee reports, I do not believe, this evening. So brings us to our first order of business, kennel license recommendations. And this evening we have Mr. and Mrs. Gerbrands and their daughter, Grace. Please come up. You pull another chair. You're going to be on television, you might as well be together. Yeah, exactly. You know. Mr. Green, are you presenting this evening?
Yes, I am, Chairman. Tonight we got Mark, Laura, and Grace Gerbrands from 3 Laurel Ave. They will be applying for a town clerk's office for the kennel license. They're owners of 4 dogs who reside at the home with them. The dogs are let out in a fenced area in the backyard. Our Triton Coalition Health Inspector Taisha Soto and Jamie Jeffrey, the Burlington Animal Control Officer, inspected the property and did supply the report in the materials. The recommendation is to vote to provide a favorable recommendation to the town clerk for the issuance of a kennel license for 3 Laurel Ave.
Were abutters notified?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Any questions, or I have a couple? What kind of dogs?
Go ahead, Laura.
They're rescues.
They're
So they're mutts, all-American mutts.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And they keep outside, they're fenced.
Yep.
What will happen is we will make a recommendation to the town clerk, because they actually give you the kennel permit, but there has to come before us that there aren't 45 people in the back screaming, no, don't give it, you know. So, anybody else have any questions?
No.
I guess, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything you want to say?
No, thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Very well. If not, then let's go through the formality. Let's get a motion to approve. I have a motion to approve by Dr. Mara El Sabahi, second by Ms. Mary Beth Welch. No any discussion? Ms. Luminello, do you have anything?
No, nothing. No, there was no issues, and we recommend positive, favorable recommendation.
Correct. I don't want to be in the doghouse, so all in favor? Aye. 400. We will
Thank you.
make a positive recommendation tomorrow, Susan, or the next?
Yes, we'll email the town clerk's office.
Tomorrow, and hopefully she will act real soon. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Happy to have you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, enjoy your night. Thank you.
You too.
Okay. Staff reports this evening. I think I missed anything. No staff reports. Environmental engineer. Does anybody have any questions? Well, while I was in the office this week, we got a call from somebody wondering when household hazardous waste, when the dates would be this coming year, or this year.
So both dates are set, and the events are on May 17th and September 13th. And there's a link to both the event dates and all the information you need to know about a household hazardous waste events, including what to bring, what not to bring, and online resources. If you can't make it to our household hazardous waste events, there's information on where you can go off-season for us. And anything else, a lot of the stuff you should be able to get answers on the website, or call us.
Will it be same as we've
Yep,
been doing
Fox
in
Hill
the past?
School.
Okay.
And no latex paint.
No latex paint, please. That can be dried and then put in the regular trash.
Any other questions? Well, I have one other. There was a reference in your report to a private drinking well. Do we have many of those in town?
We don't have a lot. I just looked at it recently. The town DPW, or the engineering DPW had called me about a particular property, so I checked the list. I think there's 30.
30.
Yeah.
More than I thought.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
30, wow.
That's not a lot for the size of the town.
No.
Yeah.
No, but in this day and age, private
Yeah.
drinking wells in a municipality
That
like
has water,
ours
yeah.
is
Is uncommon.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some
Wow.
spaces that, if the property's old enough and the well's functioning, you can keep it, maintain it, but
Are they also hooked up to town? We don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
DPW would probably know that, because if I have a record of them having a private well, and they also get a water bill, then they're at least hooked up to town water for something.
Okay. If no other questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the environmental engineers.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Demore, second by?
Second?
By Ms. Welch. All in favor? Aye. Which brings us to the Associate Director of Public Health. do you have anything to present?
Yeah, I'd like to just mention to the board, the annual meeting, the BVRC annual meeting is coming up on March 26th, and it is open to the public from 6 to 7 p.m. We will have a presentation on the opioid pandemic, and we will also be training folks on how to use Narcan, and free Narcan kits will be given out at that presentation.
And who is giving, do you know who?
Maria Ruggiero from Tewksbury Police Department, and Julianne Blodgett, our Triton Services community health worker, will be presenting at that meeting.
Outstanding, okay. Does anybody have any questions? Well, the big one, since there are posters all over town, health fair update. I know that you were responsible for coordinating our annual health fair. What's going on? Anything interesting?
Actually, a lot of that has been transferred over to our new nurse, Sandy Triani, and our intern, Jody Princicata. They're handling a lot of the new vendors that are coming in. We do have that health fair on April 26th, and some of the new folks who've come in, we've got some natural health establishments. People Helping People is going to have a stand or a table. Wegmans Pharmacy, a couple chiropractic practitioners will be available. AARP will have a table, and then we had Atria Longmeadow for some senior living options for folks also going to be there.
Oh, cool, very good.
Those are just some of the newest ones that have come in, but it'll be another full house this year for sure.
Excellent, thank you. And we'll be at the high school,
It will be at the high school.
in the
Yep.
same room?
Same room, correct.
Okay.
10 to 1 on April 26th.
All right. Do I have any other questions, or does for?
I had one quick question. How many tables do you approve for each?
It depends. We usually have it mapped out, and depending on if certain folks need extra room around their table or double tables, that usually dictates how many we can fit in there. If everyone were to get a 6-foot table, I think we can fit in almost like 68 tables. But usually we're right around the 60 table limit.
A lot?
It's a great event.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of work goes into it, but there's a lot of great information that comes out of it, so we really encourage folks to come down. Hopefully you get one of those not too nice days where it'll drive them inside to our
Right.
event.
Right.
We have been getting pretty good crowds.
Absolutely, yep. There's good demonstrations, so hopefully this year is as successful as it has been in the past.
Do you have a lot of repeat vendors?
We do have a lot of repeat vendors, but I know our intern was really working on, bringing in
I mean,
new
there was good vendors.
new
but I
fun
mean,
vendors. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they realize that it's really a great event for them too, so when the opportunity comes up, they hop right to it.
Do you get a lot of feedback from people who were like, oh, we had more people expressing interest because they found out about us, or do you get any?
We get a lot of feedback initially when they're like, oh no, I almost missed it, do you still have room for us?
People are really excited.
So we get applicants, right up to the deadline almost.
No other questions? Then I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by our Vice Chair Gail Demore, second by Mara El Sabahi. All in favor? Aye. 400. And last person is the Director of Public Health. Now, I just want to point out that Susan Luminello is online. We can ask her questions. Her report involves the health agent, Marlene Johnson, the supervisory nurse, Sandra Triani, and the associate health inspector is on medical leave, so there is no report from her. So first, Marlene Johnson. Susan, is there anything that you would like to point out from her? You're on. Okay.
Yeah. So just for all the staff, so including, so the last 2 weeks, the whole staff has been really busy trying to implement the new environmental health software. And Marlene, all of the food establishments were transferred over from from DHD into the new software. So Marlene, in the last 2 weeks, has been working really hard on not only doing the inspections because the associate health inspector is on leave, but also dealing with the issues of the new software. So she's actually started to use the new software, and she's doing inspections. She has been doing inspections in it, printing out reports. It's been working really well, but just like the implementation of any new system, there's a lot of kinks that we have to kind of work out. So we've been doing that in the last 2 weeks, and Tyler Tech has been providing us with a lot of support. Sarah and I have been going on meetings with them on a regular basis, just bringing up all of the issues that are coming up. And also, the rest of the staff is working on putting in our current permittees in for all of our permits. So that includes household hazardous waste storage, animals, funeral directors, everything that we permit, we're putting into the new software. And once we get it all in, we're hoping to implement a permit renewal for all of our current permittees. Probably the first one I'm hoping is going to be for the hazardous material storage, which is about 200 or so permittees. So we're working on getting those all in now. We're making really good progress, and we're hoping that that can be our first renewal with the new software. So I just want to thank all the staff for all the work they've done on that. It's really a lot. And Marlene as well, who is not only taking on the new inspections at this time, all of the inspections at this time, but also dealing with the new software. So.
Thank you. Any other questions about the environment, about the health agent? I just have one. I'm not sure if it was Marlene, but it was in her report. I just want to thank the team for sending out the information on avian influenza. I know it came from the Department of Agriculture Resources in the Commonwealth, but I know that all of the keeper of chickens got a copy, so thank you very much. The second,
Yes. Oh, just something else on that. So I had a conversation with our new animal control officer. So, we're working closely with her as well, and if she hears any updates or information on that, she's going to send that to us, and we'll send things to her as well, if we hear anything.
I was thinking maybe at a future meeting, we could possibly have her and introduce her to the community through the Board of Health. When you have an opportunity and you're back in the office in the next, would you possibly reach out to her?
Sure.
Thank you for bringing that up. The director's report also involves the supervisory nurse, Sandra Triani, and does anybody have any questions about that? I know that the fire department has opted not to go through the bladder screenings this year. They're doing something else. I'm not sure what they're doing, but we did offer.
We did, and Sandy made a real effort trying to reach out to them to get an answer about whether or not they wanted her to do that screening. So, they opted for something else. Sandy, just to add to her report, she's ready. She's going to be doing CPR training, so she's fully now trained as a CPR AED instructor, and we're going to get her hopefully starting classes to have maybe for town employees or staff, and she can have about MRC volunteers. Right now, because she's only one person, she can only have 6 attendees, but we're hoping that she'll start those classes pretty soon.
Thank you. And the last question I have, she immunized 13 children at the schools in the last couple of weeks, and she's been very vigilant. So please thank her for that. Any other questions for our town nurse? She's She's been very busy. Okay, now we go back to the Director of Public Health, her report. Is there anything else that you'd like to highlight? Susan?
I think that's it. I don't really have anything to add for like, since our last meeting. Just a lot of work on the new software. Also with regards to the Triton Coalition, we did do interviews for a new public health nurse and health communication specialist, and those went really well. And we're hoping, we're gonna hopefully offer them positions and they'll accept, so we'll see how that goes. We haven't officially hired anybody yet.
Thank you. Anybody else
I
have
just
questions?
have one question.
Sure.
Susan, under investigations, the extended stay hotel housing, can you just elaborate a little bit more on what that is?
It was a new one.
It says
Sure.
investigation. It says investigation.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I took that one on because the complainant was, called, was very angry, and when they called and really couldn't, the administrative staff had difficulty trying to get all the information, so that's why I took that investigation.
Okay.
And it was a bed bug complaint, and the person was in one room and then complained of bed bugs, and then they transferred them to another room, and said they had them in that room too. So the investigation was on two different rooms. So I contacted Extended Stay. They did their own, there was nobody, they immediately closed the rooms, so they had no one staying in those two rooms, because you don't want to do that, because if they are there, they can move with people. So they closed both rooms. They did their own sweep of the room to see if they could see evidence of bed bugs. They didn't see any. They called in Eco Labs or some, I don't know if that was the name, it was a private company to come and look at the room, and they came in, they looked at both rooms, they sent me the report. There was no evidence of bed bugs, and so I closed out that case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If there's no other questions, I need a motion to approve the Director of Public Health report.
So moved?
I have a motion from Ms. Mary Beth Welch, second by Vice Chair Gail Demory. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess that's the end of our meeting, very short. You might wonder why we're having a meeting. Well, we need to stay up to date. We had some people who really needed to get their kennel permit, and always open to citizens' time and last to hear reports, and for us to stay all up to date. So for that, we met, only 25 minutes, but I think it was
Quickest
important.
meeting ever.
No, I don't think the quickest, but close.
We've had quicker.
Could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
I have a motion by Gail Demory, second by Dr. El Sabahi. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for joining in.
All right.
That was the quickest
That
in my
was
short
good.
history.
Me too.